Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Boomy. I have a question for you. Do you ever feel as though your life really could have gone any other way if not for God? Yeah, I bet a lot of us feel that way. And so I'm going to share with you guys today a story about a young girl who was very wide-eyed about the world, very eager to finally gain what she thought was freedom and just explore, and really saw the world with rose-colored glasses. If you haven't figured out by now, the story is going to be about me. I am going to be telling you guys my story. Has been familiar with me or with my channel in the past, I have shared my story before, but what's different now is I'm going to be sharing my story from a godly standpoint, as a godly woman now. So before I start this story, I really wanted to tell you guys that there is going to be a very pleasant surprise at the end. Stay to the end of the video and you will definitely find out. I also wanted to share, before I, get into the story, I really just wanted to share that the Lord really has been breaking me down and remolding me basically. And I think that's why I felt so moved to want to share my story, especially with this pleasant surprise that's going to be at the end. So my story basically started out, I'm going to start from when I graduated from high school, secondary school, as other people would know it. In 2016, I had graduated from high school. I was 15 at the time. I did graduate early. For my case, we're just gonna go with the fact that I was super smart, okay? Now, typically when you graduate, you're supposed to go to college right after. It's not that popular anymore, but that is what's expected of you. And so when I finished at 15, of course, it was time to start looking into college applications. Now, mind you, I grew up in a very typical, moderate Christian family, Nigerian, and I grew up going to church regularly, being raised with morals, disciplined, everything that you can think of in a typical Christian Nigerian family, if you know what typical Christian Nigerian families look like. Moving on. Through the process, I was raised right, which many people who have given their life to Christ really can relate to that. Of course, you were raised right. So even through the process of me applying for colleges and through the process of me eventually moving to America for college, the Lord really was with me through the entire journey. Through the process of, imagine a 15-year-old child moving across the world, alone. I truly believe that the Lord was with me through the entire process, and that it was God's will for me to leave even at that time. I was on the bus for like 3 days. I was on a plane for hours. It was a whole journey, okay? And it was my first time by myself. It was hard, but not impossible. You can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. At this point, I was already in America, and I started going to this church, and I joined the youth group. I even got baptized in summer of 2017. I was still, I was very much still in touch with, my Christian values, basically. Now, by the fall of 2017, I basically had a new group of friends on campus. Not exactly the best voices to be in the ears of a 16-year-old. They weren't terrible people, they were not bad people, but they were not godly friends. I also had godly friends, mind you. The only difference is many of my godly friends from the youth group that I was in were still in high school. So the people that I hung out with regularly were college students who were way older. And so you can let your imagination think about how that went. At this point, I also ended up getting into a relationship. I wasn't very open with what was going on in my relationship at this time. I was open a little bit, but not as much as I should have been. And that is something I try to stress to, even when I get into conversations lately. I'm like, one thing you always need to make sure you're having is accountability. When you get into a relationship, always have that. And obviously you can tell that there were mistakes made in this relationship. This person and I went on to date for a little bit, went out for a couple months, and then it ended. It was what it was. And then I ended up getting into this other relationship, which was very bad. It was very toxic. I ended up getting very much manipulated into a relationship. At the time, I did not even know that this was all just the work of the devil. I was not thinking about all of that, and of course, you can tell that was just really the plan of the enemy. And I ended up getting into a relationship with an older person. It was very toxic. I completely shut everyone out, did not tell anybody about this relationship. It was very much a quiet, in the dark type of thing. And I was 17 at this point, mind you. At this time, I was 17. Many mistakes were also made in this relationship. It went on for, a little bit too. But then eventually I had moved to Baton Rouge, somewhere else. I moved somewhere else to finish college. And I started living with a pastor. And that was when this relationship ended. Now, when I was living with the pastor, my relationship with God was very wishy-washy. It was very much up and down, everywhere. I was here today, somewhere else the next day. I think it was because I was directly under the pastor's supervision, so I felt convicted about a lot of things. And so it wasn't so much of I am giving my life to the Lord 100%. It was more of, I just feel convicted. Someone play, let go of some things. So eventually, towards the end of 2020, I had gotten back into this relationship with my first boyfriend, partner, whatever you want to call him. For some reason, I just thought that this was God, that we got back together, this must be God. I was like, God, you sent me this, you sent me this person back. This must be you. Everything that God did not say. This relationship went on to last a couple of weeks. Eventually ended, and things were not good. It did not end good. I was very heartbroken. I was very sad. And I think it wasn't so much about the person. I think it was more of just, I had put so much belief into this relationship. I basically made the relationship an idol instead of listening to what God really was saying. And so when this relationship ended, of course, I was heartbroken because it wasn't of God in the first place. And so I ended up coming into 2021. Yeah, I ended up coming into 2021 very confused, very hurt, in a bad place. It was more of a, I was questioning God. Basically, stopped listening to God altogether. At some point, I just started doing my own thing. Many other mistakes were made. It was very much not something I like remembering anymore. So moving on, eventually, like, it wasn't that long towards into the new year, I started to feel this inclination in my heart, like I really wanted to get back right with God. I did not like the direction my life was going in. At the time, I had just graduated college. I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. Everything seemed like such a mess. And so I was trying to figure out what to do, how to go about it. And so I went back to God, and I just cried my heart to him, and I told God, like, I really want to come back to you. I just don't know how, and I need your help. And he did just that. Like, literally a few weeks after, this was right after my birthday, I ended up having a conversation with somebody who is definitely very important to me now. But I had this conversation with this person, and I believe that the Lord really just sent me this person to help guide me and direct me back on the path of the Lord. And that was really the breaking point. And I gave my life to Christ March 31st of 2021, and I have not looked back ever since. It has been such a blessing. It really was like a weight was lifted off of me. And there was just this peace of letting go of my past life, my past self. And that's really just basically my story of how I came to give my life to Christ. How I came to give my life to Christ, I apologize. And I guess I really just wanted to share this story because lately, like I said at the beginning of this video, that the Lord really has been molding me and changing me and working on my heart. And I feel like I'm being called into ministering to, whether it be younger girls, teenage girls, younger people, teenage people, or my age group, just anybody who's willing to seek out the Lord and who's going through a hard time and just needs, direction and guidance, because I know I've been there. And so I've been, making myself available for the Lord to use. Like, if God really could have changed my life, and which is really why I'm titling this video a story that only God can change, because no matter what you're going through, I'm telling you, God really is the only one that can change it. He's the author and finisher of all of our stories. God knows our beginnings to the end. He's the Redeemer. He's so good, so kind, so marvelous. I can't even begin to describe, like, in words. Like, he's so awesome. Like, it's overwhelming. Okay, I've used a bunch of words now, but I'm telling you, like, the only person that can intervene in your story, if you have a willing heart, that's really the foundation of it. You go to God in prayer, and that's all you need. Have a willing heart, and God will change your story. Now, another reason why I really wanted to make this video to share my story is because I'm going to be making a transition into a new phase. And so I really wanted to film this one last video, like, not for the channel, but I wanted to film this one last video, in this current phase that I'm on as I transition into this next phase. So I can, I can look back on this time in my life and remember and reflect how good God was and is to me and to all of us. So for the surprise I was telling you guys about at the beginning of this video, it is going to be coming right about now. This is a little surprise I was telling you guys about. So I cut my hair. I know if you follow me on social media, you've seen this hair already, because a little secret, it's already been a whole week since I cut it, okay? I'm just filming this outro a whole week after. It's fine. I just haven't had enough time to sit down and finish the outro of this video, and that's why I'm doing it right now. But anyways, this video is literally about to end, but before I leave, I wanted to just really talk about why I cut my hair and the space that my heart is in right now. So I know cutting my hair really doesn't have anything to do with me giving my life to Christ or the new transition that the Lord is taking me in. But for me, it basically signified something. I liked the fact that it felt like I was a new person, basically, not that it really has anything to do with it. It really doesn't. But the fact is I cut my hair because I wanted to, and to me, it just felt significant enough. Through this week, like I told you, it took me a whole week to film this outro, right? But through the week, I felt like the enemy kept trying to make me not post this video. But devil, I just want you to know that you're a liar. I am going to post this video. I really wanted to make this video because I felt like the Lord laid it upon my heart too. The Lord also ministered to me over the course of the week a Bible verse, and I have it open here and I'm going to read it real quick. And it's from Isaiah 61 verse 7, and it says, instead of your shame you shall have double honor, and instead of confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess double, everlasting joy shall be theirs. And this Bible verse really just encouraged me and reassured me, because I felt as though the enemy kept trying to bring up shame and guilt from me posting this video, and I really just wanted to I really just wanted to shame the devil. And the reason why I make my videos and I make this particular video to share my story is not for the enemy to take any pride in this. It's not for anyone to look at me with, you know, contempt in their heart, or like look at me a different type of way, because that is not who I am. If the Lord has redeemed me and forgiven me and made me a new person, who is anyone? Who is the devil? Who does the devil think he is to make me feel any other type of way? So that is why I'm going to post this video, and that's why I purposely came and made the outro of this video. And I'm just, you know, so elated, so glad in my heart, because I know that the Lord has called me to this, and the Lord has called me to speak out, and like this message really could be for even just one person out there. And I am definitely so honored by God that he would give me the responsibility to speak into the lives of other people through my YouTube. So with that, thank you for watching this video. I look forward to all the many beautiful other videos that we're going to have together, even with this new look. I'm just really grateful to God, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. So bye.